What's up guys, Dexapinin here, and I want to do like a review for Pokemon Legends, but due to the low views of this channel, I can't put too much time into effort into making a huge review, so I'm just going to kind of make a rant about how I felt about the game, how long the game is, and how it's different from all the other Pokemon mainstream games. Now, I like this game a lot. I will say it's one of the funnest Pokemon games that I've played, but in this game you basically are starting off at the beginning of the Pokemon idea where people don't have Pokemon yet. You're making the first Pokeball, and it's basically like a prequel to the Pokemon games, and so people are just learning about Pokemon, how to capture them, how to become friends. And that's just basically what you're doing. You like somehow fall from the sky, from a tear in the sky, and you're trying to figure out what that tear in the sky is. So that's basically the main story of the game. So you're not going to city after city, fighting people along the way and doing huge battles and earning badges. You're in one city and you're basically just doing missions to research Pokemon. You're more of a Pokemon researcher than you are a full-on person that likes the competition and likes to get badges and trying to be the very best. Now, within saying that, there are moments you do fight some of the villagers to show who's the strongest, just for fun because they're your friends, and sometimes there are your enemies. This game does have kind of a Team Rocket group of 3 girls, but they're kind of underused unless they're used a lot in the end game, which I'm at. And I want to talk about the end game now. We're there. About 20 hours, 25 hours I beat the game, and that's taking my time and exploring a lot in the open areas. Now with that being said, I think it was a good time length, but I didn't do a lot of the side quests. I told myself I was going to save them for later, and a lot of the side quests require you to basically go study a certain Pokemon a lot, and I kind of find that boring if I don't like that Pokemon. So I just saved them for after game, and so I have a whole list at the end of the game of stuff I can do, and also we have missions for in-game stuff of finding out more stuff. Like the mission continues for about 20 or 30 more hours, but a lot of those missions, at least some of those missions, you have to go find and catch Pokemon, so they're like really tedious and they can take a while, and I'm not sure if I'm going to beat the end game stuff, but I do appreciate it being there. I do think the length of the game is good, and I definitely think it's worth it with how long the game can be. If you're really into this game and want to beat every single thing in it, it's definitely going to take you a minute, but I'd recommend you to sit back, enjoy the game, relax, and take your time with it. It's definitely not a game you want to rush into and beat in a hurry. So now that we got the length out of the way and what's after you beat the main game, I want to tell you about the gameplay itself. I adore the gameplay itself to the point where it's really hard for me to go back and play any older Pokemon game. I have went back and played Sword and Shield, and I'll talk about why in a minute, but I can't go back and play anything older from like Pokemon Let's Go. Anything older than that, I can't play anymore because I just hate the random battles in the grass. That is so old school to me. That's like 2D games. I can't mess with that anymore. I'm over that. You know, I'd been there, done that situation. So the fact that they moved it from them walking around in a kind of huge open world area is so much better, and every Pokemon game from here on out has to be this way. The way you can throw out Pokeballs to catch them randomly, or you can battle them randomly and some will attack you, and you can find different alpha ones, even found some shiny ones. That stuff is amazing. I mean, that alone, just to complete the Pokedex and go out and do the same stuff and battle Pokemon, that alone, for me, is worth the price of the entry fee, not counting the story. Although I do, like I said, I do kind of find the story lacking. And so I guess I'll go ahead and go into the discussion of what got me back into Sword and Shield is the fact that I missed going to town, fighting everyone, building up my Pokemon, and being the very best, fighting leaders and getting badges. I just could imagine how crazy and better this game would have been if it followed that story. I appreciate the origins, but it'd be so cool if the next Pokemon Legend games, you know, whatever sequel they make for this game, goes into the idea of them actually fighting for badges and becoming the very best like no one ever was, and actually doing that, because going to different towns, seeing different areas, unlocking different stuff in Pokemon, fighting that gym leader, dealing with Team Rocket on the side, like all that stuff the games used to be, doing it in the Pokemon Legends universe would make like the best game ever, and I really missed that in this game. There is no real reason to battle people. The things you're battling the most are other Pokemon you're trying to capture or figure out what they are, and that's like the main thing. You're more of a Pokemon research person than you are a Pokemon master trying to be the very best. Like I said, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like I miss that feeling of fighting, of wanting that badge to go up to the next level. And they do have something like a badge. They have star ranks that go how do you control your Pokemon, and you get star ranks by research, but still it doesn't feel as good. So this video is getting too long. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. If you guys could like and subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We'll have a lot more content coming soon. But my final thoughts on this game, the final things I want to talk about if you guys are just thinking about getting it or getting into it, is the boss battles. I did not like the boss battles. I think there's like 4 of them, and then you fight them at the end, and I dealt with them, but a couple of them were very frustrating. The boss battles, basically you have to throw water Pokeballs at a huge boss that you have to dodge, and during times you can fight it, and if you win the fight you get kind of like a little portion of time that you can just like throw a whole bunch of water balls at them, but you just basically have to throw water balls at them until they get their life down, and that's it. It's very weird, and some of them are really hard because like some of the Pokemon will like throw guided missiles at you. They'll just follow you around in a circle, and you gotta wait until the boss finishes all his moves to really attack. And I just found the boss battles to be really not fun. I just didn't have fun. Every time a boss battle came up, I cringed. But just throwing it out there, I did like the mounts. I did like every time you go to a new area, which I think there were, what, 5 areas? Every time you went to a new area, you got a new mount. You'd be able to climb, you'd be able to fly, you'd be able to run around, you'd be able to swim. I kind of love that idea. But a lot of people wanted to compare this game and say it's Breath of the Wild meets Pokemon, but honestly, it doesn't have a lot of Breath of the Wild stuff. It might have some normal open world features, but it's a lot more Pokemon meets Monster Hunter. And I say that because it's not an open world. It doesn't feel like it's an insanely huge open world. The actual world is kind of ugly itself, and it's kind of a little bit dead, to be honest, but I still like exploring it, and the Pokemon are really cool, but the world could be so much better, but it's not a huge open world. It's world segments that are open, and that's how Monster Hunter is. And you get missions and do them within there, but the mission structure is a lot better in Monster Hunter, and the map's a lot better in Monster Hunter as well. But it's more Pokemon meets Monster Hunter than it is Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild. And I actually would prefer it if it was Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild, but hey, I love Monster Hunter too, and to be honest, I love this game. And if you're on the fence about getting it, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're kind of sick of the old school stuff, and you're sick of random battles and having to go in the bushes and get scared, and you want more of a relaxing game that isn't pushing you to be the very best, to just relax and go hunt Pokemon in the wild, this is perfect. Because Pokemon Snap kind of sucked. Just taking Pokemon, you can't walk around, you can't really focus on them. It really sucked. But this game takes the elements from Pokemon games, takes the Pokemon Snap idea, mixes it with some Monster Hunter, puts it all together, and it's really, really fun. That's my opinion. That's my / review on the new Pokemon Legends game that came out today. It's really awesome. I definitely actually recommend you guys picking it up. It's the most fun I had on a Pokemon game since Pokemon Sword and Shield. So those games are amazing, and it actually made me go back and replay those games because it made me miss the old formula but love the new stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Dust can fly. Like, subscribe, do me a favor, that'd be really helpful, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a good weekend, enjoy the game, peace.